We all get them, right? Those amazing light bulb moment ideas that just feel like they have to work. But let's be honest, how many of those actually become a reality? Well, there's a huge, huge gap between having a great idea and actually building something great. So today, we're going to bridge that gap. We're going to walk through that crucial journey from a simple thought to a rock-solid, executable concept.
So you've got it, that brilliant idea. You can feel the energy, you're already picturing the final thing, the success, it's all right there in your mind. And what's the first thing we all want to do? We want to jump right in, start designing, start building, just go. But you know what? That rush, that excitement, that's exactly where most great ideas begin to fall apart.
Because here's the tough part, the thing we have to get our heads around. An idea, no matter how incredible it seems, just isn't enough. It's only a spark. And if you want to build a real fire, something that lasts, you have to take that little spark and carefully forge it into something much, much bigger.
And this is where we see the real difference. Look, an idea is vague. It's like, let's build a resort. Okay, great starting thought, but that's all it is. A concept, on the other hand, is detailed. It has direction. It's, let's build a luxury nature resort offering serenity. You see that shift? It's huge. One is just a wish. The other, that's a plan you can actually start working on. So, how in the world do you make that leap? How do you go from that vague idea to a solid concept? Well, the secret isn't really about what you're building. It's about why. You have to realize that you're never just selling a building or a product. You're always, always selling a feeling. This quote just nails it. The whole point of any project is to create a specific feeling for the person who's going to use it. Seriously, think about it. You don't just build a house, you're trying to create the feeling of home. You don't just build a resort, you're selling the feeling of an escape. That feeling, that's the real product. Let's jump back to our resort idea for a second. The moment you decide on the core feeling, everything snaps into focus. That one little idea of a resort can suddenly branch out into totally different projects. Are you selling the feeling of pure, over-the-top luxury? Or maybe it's all about a deep, quiet connection with nature? Or what about a focus on health and wellness? Each of those feelings defines a completely different experience, and it's that experience that people are actually paying for. Okay, so the goal is clear. We need to create a specific feeling. But how do you build a concrete plan around something that sounds so abstract? Well, this isn't about just hoping for the best. There's actually a clear, structured process you can follow. It all boils down to this simple but super powerful three-step loop. First, you identify the needs. What physical things, what services, what atmosphere do you absolutely need to create that feeling? Second, you explore alternatives, because trust me, there's always more than one way to get there. And finally, you select the best option, the one that really truly nails that feeling you're going for. Let's make this super simple. Imagine the feeling you want to create is a peaceful book reading experience. Okay, how do we deliver that? Is the best way to do it sitting in a beautiful, quiet garden? Or is it all about having the absolute perfect cup of coffee right next to you? Or maybe the key is being totally surrounded by floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. See, each one is a different path to get to that same core feeling of peace. Now, a really important question. Who's in charge of all this? It's so tempting to think one person can just figure it all out, but that's not how it works. To build a concept that's truly strong, one that will actually stand up in the real world, you need a team. You need a powerful collaboration of different kinds of expertise. This brings us to what I like to call the core team. First, you've got the project manager. They're your anchor to reality, always focused on the budget, the timeline, the practical stuff. Then you have the architect. They're the visionary, the one who dreams up the artistic side and focuses on the human experience. And finally, you've got the engineer, the master of the physical world who makes sure the dream can actually be built and won't fall down. A truly powerful concept is born right there, in the middle of these three perspectives. You absolutely need the practical, get-it-done strategy of management. You need the creative soul and human focus of the artistic vision. And you need the undeniable logic of engineering. When you get those three forces working together, in balance, that's when a simple idea finally, truly becomes a successful project.
So let's go all the way back to that brilliant idea that you're holding on to. The real question you should be asking isn't, is my idea good? The real question is, am I ready to define the feeling I want to create, explore all the ways to get there, and build the right team to make it real? Because a great idea, well, that's just the starting line. A great concept is what actually wins the race.